Okay, hello and welcome everyone to New Moon 2020 Cycle 11 stream. Okay, so before we're going to start the stream, just going to briefly explain how the tournament works and how you can sign up for next week's tournament. Okay, so New Moon is a weekly round robin tournament. So what this means, weekly means that it happens throughout the week. Round robin means that you play against everyone. And one of the things that we've been doing with this tournament style is that we have public setups, which means after the tournament starts, any player can see what everyone else is playing, which is why we're going to be going through the setups before the match starts. So to sign up for New Moon cycle 12, which is going to be the second Blood Moon. Blood Moon is the main, you could call it the main tournament bracket for New Moon, and it happens at the end of 4 New Moon cycles, and after that we take short break. So it involves first round robin tournament and then leading up to a top cut bracket. And if you wish to sign up, just head to the N1GP Discord and use exclamation New Moon. There should be the sign up sheet there, or you can check the header in the tournament channel for more information. And obviously, as always, people are more than happy to help. Okay, so now going to be looking at the setups for our first match, which is going to be Meta Wolfie vs Symes. Okay, so looking at their setups, we start with Meta Wolfie. So Meta Wolfie is running quite the interesting build. You don't really see that very often. So if we start by his Navicast, he's doing the Giga +1 Navicast piece, which gives him an extra Giga that he can use in his folder. And to run that, he had to sacrifice running air shoes, and rush, it looks like, which are very common aspects that you see in Gregar Navicasts. And the 2 gigas that he has are Colonel Force and Base, so he has a lot of potential damage output. He also has Element Man SP and the Blast Man SP, so there's also that. And obviously he has attack max and charge max, so he can try to pressure the opponent with his charge shots and then use his gigas to finish them off. Otherwise, looking at his folder, he doesn't have anything very unusual. He has attack +30 for that base. We see barrier 200, 1 slow gauge, and Geddon. Okay, so he's running Sanctuary and Panel Turn in case his opponent is running Geddon. So what he can do is wait for his opponent's Geddon, then use Sanctuary or Panel Return so he can move freely. Yeah, so looking at Symes on the other hand, so you see a bit of an unusual Navicast as well. So Gregar tends to run Custom 1, but we see that Symes decided to take a bit less attack and go for the Custom 2, which might end up working out for him. And he does have air shoes, though I don't think he has any Geddon, yeah. So Meta Wolfie might end up throwing away the Geddon that he has, because it wouldn't be as effective, and Meta Wolfie isn't running, I think actually neither of them are running uninstall, yeah. Okay, so looking at Symes' build, we see the 3 wide shots, 2 Aqua Dragons and 2 corn shots, so he's going for P code, which is unusual actually. Very rarely see that. But I do think it does have good potential because he can use these Aqua Dragons to make ice panels and then wide shots to confirm them. He also has the Ice Seed and Fan, so he can try to pull the opponent into multiple ice hits. We will see how he decides to play with that. He has that Buster Up tagged, which is actually interesting. Sometimes you'd see Buster Up reg to give him the attack max, but he decided to tag that and drag Aqua Dragon instead. So Metal Wolf is going to have to be very careful if he decides to um, go into one of the fire crosses that he has, because of all of these aqua chips that Symes is running. And oh, we see Q Force as well, yeah, which I guess is a normal Giga. But yeah, I believe that's everything from both builds. Let's head into the match. Okay, so looking through Metal Wolfie's point of view, and we can see he already has the Element Man SP. So looks like for turn 1 he decided to go with a bit of a safer play. He can see that Symes has Rush, so he wants to start with his barrier and then use Invis to avoid Rush paralyzing him. But we'll see. The interesting choice is going to be what he decides to cross into. He might go, I think Erase or Elec are very good options. Okay, so he decides to go for Erase. Ooh, and Symes goes into Elec. And that turn 1 Life Aura, okay. So now, Metal Wolf is going to have to try to avoid the charge shot from Symes. 2 charge shots will be enough to remove his barrier, so let's see how well he can do. It can be very difficult to avoid charge shots. That was well done from Metal Wolf, only taking 1 hit, and that Windrak is coming early. I guess he does have Windrak tagged with anti-damage, so you expect to see a tag chip earlier compared to if it wasn't tagged. Okay, now Metal Wolf trying to think through his turn. The order he wants to do things. Ooh, he might go into Beast out, though I think it's still a bit risky. He doesn't have that many chips to chip charge, and Beast Jumps makes landing Windrak more difficult. Ooh. Okay, so Judge Man will bring the area back to Symes. Metal Wolf is running 1 more area grab, so going to see how their area play is going to turn out. Yeah, now Symes is the one trying to avoid these charge shots. Ooh, looks like Symes is lining up for a play next turn. We might be seeing Blast Man or, Erase Man or something similar. Okay, so Metal Wolf has both Blastman and Elementsman SP. Looks like he's going with the Blastman first. Or actually, think about it. He has the option to try to go for a D-cross with Elementsman. Slow Gauge is going to be very valuable. But yeah, as Honor Knight is mentioning in chat, that Metal Wolf is running Slow Gauge, whereas Symes is running Fast Gauge. So the person that uses their gauge first is going to lose the gauge war, as they're called. And so to explain that, the way that using gauges in PvP works is that the one used at the end is going to overwrite everything before it. So now Metal Wolf is using slow gauge, and then if Symes uses fast gauge after that, we will end up with fast gauge. Ooh, that fan removing life aura. Let's see if the Elements Man. Oh, a bit too early. So yeah, SoulXCross has invulnerability frames during his charge shot, so unfortunately that ended up completely missing. Elements Man going for Elec because Symes knows Metal Wolfie doesn't have air shoot, so this limits Metal Wolfie's movement somewhat. Now we see the plus 30 and the grab revenge. So yeah, he's deciding to go into beast out, try to chip charge. Also has that wind drag. Okay, let's see if Symes comes out with that fast gauge. if fast gauge come out, that could interrupt what Metal Wolf is going for, but wouldn't be too bad because you can just use some of his chips. Nice. Okay, so race chip charge removes removes traps and pierces invis, so it's very good. Ooh, nice movement. Dodging the race there. Then at the end of turn, invis into area grab. Wolfie does have that Geddon, so if Symes goes into Beast out, then that could be an indication that Colonel Force would be coming soon, which is why, which is one of the reasons why Wolfie is going for that Geddon play. Another thing to note is that he can chip charge that Geddon, so it's going to be useful to take this turn anyway if he's worried he might get decrossed. Ooh, fast gauge coming out, but the Judgment does connect, so few muscle shots. Unfortunately that will still connect. And that Blastman will miss. That was nice movement from Symes, moving where Blastman or anything else can potentially miss. Ooh, not being able to get out. Get him. Actually, that was better. If Metal Wolfie used Geddon at the end there, that would have been very bad for him. So that was the correct play. Ooh. And yeah, base is going to connect. I think that might end up the game, yeah. Now we'll be heading into game 2. Okay, so we see another start with Invis. Going into race again, though this time Metal Wolfie is starting with his Invis, so yeah, he's going to use that as TFC to avoid getting hit by Rush. And he does have the anti-damage as TFC at the very end if he needs to. So he was standing at the very back to avoid, to avoid the ice panels from taking up all of his area, so that was very nice from Metal Wolfie. Who has second Invis, but also Geddon, so he could go into Beast Out. Actually, I think Beast Out might be the correct play. He can use that to chip charge his Geddon, and he has some defense that he can either use or decide to chip charge. That's one of the really strong things about going into Race Beast or just Gregar Beast in general, because you can take defensive chips. So if your opponent has any play, you can just use them. But you can also chip charge them. So by the end of the turn, you had a fully defensive turn and a fully offensive turn. Okay, so TFCing the Invis, avoiding the 120 damage, and then using the anti-damage while he's still flashing to avoid a potential TFC. Ooh, I think that was mid-movement, so now if Metal Wolfie cross cancels, he might keep his anti-damage. So one thing that Metal Wolfie is thinking about doing is using Geddon to break his opponent's field, and then using Sanctuary to regain his field back. That's also a valid play. Geddon can be very good in denying Q-Force, can deny other navies in general. but Symes still has a second Aqua Dragon, Ice Seed, and the Element Man. So Symes has plenty of ways to deal with the Sanctuary. Ooh, that was the white shot. Okay, and Fast Gauge is coming out from Symes. So these broken panels are going to last for quite a while. Nice, and managing to remove the anti-damage. Now, Wolfie has that panel return, he's thinking about it, but obviously he has Sanctuary, so he doesn't really want to take it, which is why he's going for Chip Charge. Though, we are in Fast Gauge, so Chip Charging is going to be rough. Let's see how he decides to play out. He was in Invis anyway, so he couldn't have stepped back to deny the Icy from landing. Ooh, and too fast on that Raceman, which unfortunately caused it to miss. I guess that panel return ended up working out because now he can avoid these ice panels. Okay, so grab revenge and then leading into an area grab. He's probably going to just use them. I don't think he can really chip charge, especially because if he uses grab revenge, that will give him his front panels. But then that will still make it more difficult for him to chip charge his area grab. Ooh, Symes going into SoulXCross. So he probably has more area grabs coming. Okay, so this is going to be the final turn for Beast Outbursts, but Wolfie does have that slow gauge. And yeah, so Symes is running air shoes, which is why Geddon wasn't as useful against Symes. Ooh, just going with slow gauge. I think he's going to want to chip charge that, yeah. Even if at least just to break some panels. Because obviously using slow gauge in that position would have made him take a lot more hits from SoulXCross, which is going to be very bad. TFCing the life arrow. Let's see if Symes had anything to do with it that turn. Ooh, double life arrow. I think both of them should still have wind drags. Yeah, there is. And Q-Force in hand. So something that Wolfie can go for is that he has that plus 30 in his folder. So he can just stay in baseman and go for Q-Force plus 30. But then he's going to SoulXCross, which is... I'm not really sure about that one. He isn't going to be able to get that plus area with these broken panels. Yeah, and it's going to have to throw away the Element Man into anti-damage. And then at the end of turn, let's see. Unfortunately doesn't get out his area grab. Wolfie still has the 2 recoveries and Symes isn't running any of them, any recoveries. So this is still going well for Wolfie. Though we are getting we're getting onto turn 9 already. Okay, going back to neutral area. Thinking about taking the recoveries. I believe Wolfie started with 1500, so He's just taking one of them. Doesn't want to waste the other one. Oh, that might be rough. We see Symes going for Beast Out, so we could see Q-Force coming. Okay, Erase Man misses. But Metal Wolfie doesn't have any defense, so yeah, there is. It's going to be quite a bit of defense. And it's still going into the next turn, so Metal Wolfie will probably cross-cancel. I think he actually might be risky to cross-cancel if he has Heat as his last one. Yeah, so he decided to stay. He didn't want to get decrossed for 2x damage. Staying in /cross might give him the best chance to survive. Symes already used his Erase Man. I think Symes might still have Judge Man, so that could be one way to extend his combos. But that was a lot of damage coming out. I think it's already 700 or so damage, and there is still a bit more to Q-Force coming. Ooh, Heat Cross. And yeah, so I think that might have been a bit too early. Ooh, comboing again. Probably going forward, yeah. See if the recover comes out. Nice, barely. He was so Metal Wolfie was in chip lockout, which is why he didn't TFC the area grab to remove Symes' anti-damage. And chip lockout is basically a status that happens when when some real-time chips are used, like recoveries, full cost. I think these two are the main chips. Having to throw away Blastman into the anti-damage, that's really rough. Metal Wolfie should have started with Judge Man to deal with the anti-damage. But this is still not bad, being able to land 2 charge shots, that's still doing quite a bit. And he still has the Q-Force plus 30. So Metal Wolfie could decide to start with it, and with the plus 30 I think that would be enough damage. Ooh, going with base might be a bit risky because base only targets the initial 3x3 area. So if Symes stays camping forward, then he isn't going to be able to land that. Yeah, so he decided to throw that away. The HP is getting very low. It's about 20 difference between them. Ooh, was that a bit too early? Okay, and no undershot. We'll finish off the game. And that was very well played match. At the very end there, that got very close. And yeah, so at the end we saw that Symes, that's one of the things with public setups, that he could see Metal Wolfie running 2 gigas. So he expected that base to come out. And was camping forward to try to deny that, but then Metal Wolfie had that Q-Force which barely gave him enough damage to finish off the game. Okay, so going to head into our next match, which will be Enduring Grave vs SoulXCross. And before we do that, going to be joining on commentary is Symes. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so while Symes joins, I'm going to start by looking at the setups.
Hello?
Okay, there he is. Hello Symes, welcome to the stream.
Yeah, hey Player Zero, what's up?
You just missed out on your match. That was a really close match.
Oh, the one versus Metal Wolfie, yeah. The not having undershirt there at the end cost me.
And I believe you were quite close to damage judge even, so if the game went on a bit longer, then that could have gone either way. That was a really close one. So I'll play to both sides.
Yeah, that first round though, I think I didn't even get any damage. That was pretty bad. But yeah, so looks like for the next match we will have Enduring Ray versus SoulXCross. If you wanted to go through the setups there.
Yeah, so if we look at their Navicost, I think this is a bit more of the usual Navicost that we expect from Gregor. So Enduring Ray is running without bug fix, so a bugged build with air shoes, custom +1, attack max, and full HP. And the reason for his bug build is we see these 2 statics and the air spin. So it looks like we might have air spin static combos coming up. One interesting thing though is that there is no emotion bug. That's usually one thing you'd see in bugged builds, but this time we don't have that.
Yeah, I think because Enduring Ray wants to also use it with the crosses, so the emotion bug wouldn't really do anything while he's in a cross.
That's a good point.
And for Soul's build here, we see the F code, the machine gun, magnum, base. We also see a Aura Head 3 to take care of /cross, and which could come into play here since this is a Gregor versus Gregor matchup.
Yeah. So Enduring Ray isn't running Geddon, but we do see 2 Elect Dragons. So Soul running Float Shoes will be saving him from being locked behind broken panels.
Yeah, I think Elect Dragon is actually unique in the way that it works. Is because normally when you have chips that make crack panels, if they hit panels that are already cracked, it turns it into a hole. But I think with Elect Dragon, actually, it won't make cracked panels a hole. They'll still just be cracked. So the float shoes here from Soul will actually he doesn't have to worry about the Elect Dragons at all, basically, just with those float shoes.
Interesting. So they're both running slow gauge, so we'll probably end up with a slow gauge matchup. But the Giga that Sol is running is base, which is going. So we're going to see how he's going to be careful with using that with Magnum, because one of the weaknesses of base is that if your opponent is standing on a broken panel, then it doesn't hit. So it doesn't hit over broken panels, basically.
Yeah, and he doesn't have any uninstall or anything like that, so he'll have so yeah, Enduring Ray will just be able to stand on the holes made by the Magnum, and also it's even worse for Soul because Enduring Ray has the crack shoes bug, so Enduring Ray can just break his own panels at will, basically. The one thing though with those magnums is Soul can also use them to deny Enduring Ray's kernel force and also potentially ground man. So we'll see if Soul can get a defensive utility from the magnums as well.
Yeah, that is a really good point. So kernel force doesn't spawn over broken panels. So by using magnum, you can just break most of the area that Enduring Ray could have and just basically completely deny it. But yeah, I believe that's everything. We can head into the match. Okay, so we can see that Enduring Ray, he's getting a bit of the A-code chips that he has, so Pulse, but he also has that full cost, so going to see if they decide to go with the immediate full cast or play a bit slower.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the full cast reg with Gregor. You usually see that with Falzer for the dust dig.
Yeah. Oh, the immediate turn 1 Magnum to deal with the Sanctuary panel that they started with, and then Judgment. Soul already has more area grabs in his folder, so Enduring Grey is going to have to play it very carefully to avoid being locked behind area or to be able to confirm his static wheel combo.
When that machine gun will clear out Enduring Ray's anti-damage there, and now our rush will take effect.
Ooh, using Judgment a bit too early, which unfortunately misses a bit on damage. And slow gauge coming out from Soul. So one thing that Enduring Grey can do, ooh, nice. Another thing that Enduring Grey can do is break panels with his crackback and then step behind them to avoid the charge shots from Soul from connecting.
Yeah, that's actually true. Charge cross, that's honestly one of the biggest disadvantages to not having shoes with Gregor, is charge cross becomes a lot harder to use because the tackle will get blocked by holes. But it looks like Soul's instead of opting for slash cross on this turn.
Soul tried to use immediate wind rack, but unfortunately got counter hit by the ending from that machine gun from the previous turn, so that was really rough for Soul.
Ooh, but the air spin just goes straight into Soul and gets destroyed, so unfortunately Enduring Ray wasn't able to get the combo there.
And these broken panels that Enduring Grey has, so even if they lose one area, they can just basically deny slash cross thanks to these broken panels. So that slash cross from Soul isn't going to be doing as much work. Yeah, he decides to cross out. Ooh. I think that might have been accidental mashing, because now the invis isn't really going to do anything. Whereas you could have used it on rush or just waited until the end of turn for a TFC.
Yeah, and it's interesting that Souls is opting to camp on the front column here instead of the middle with that holy panel. He took some extra damage there that might have been mitigated if he was on the middle column with the holy panel.
Oh, interesting. So Enduring Grace thinking about using that Colonel Force, but unfortunately without getting that plus 30 and with these broken panels, it's going to be very difficult to try to maximize. Oh, Beast Out coming from Soul.
And they're both using Element Man here. I think that also might have been an accidental TFC from Soul. He might have wanted to
nice.
Beast Charge that.
Ooh.
Oh! And Soul gets the Muramasa, and that's it.
Yeah, so the Beast Jump caused Soul to get hit by Enduring Grey's charge shot, but charge shots on their own, they can't counter hit, which is why that Muramasa connected. If this was something else like Dull Thunder, for example, then that would have been counter hit and denied.
Yeah, it is kind of funny though. With Erase Cross's charge shot, since it pierces Invis, in those cases it will actually hit again if you Beast Jump into it. But with Elect Crosses, it will only hit once.
Yeah. Okay, so Enduring Gray is going turn 1. Ooh, that was... I think that might have been accidental TFC as well. Because, so, color bug that Enduring Gray has gives green invis, which is basically invulnerability to anything that you'd really encounter. And that includes paralysis from Rush. So if that wasn't in a TFC, then Rush would have triggered, but wouldn't have paralyzed.
Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate for Enduring Ray. We'll see if that comes back into play later on in this round, since Rush will still be active for Soul.
Cross cancelling into charge cross. Nice, connecting the raceman on the movement. This should allow charge shot to connect as well. Oh, and the full area coming for Soul. The counter hit. So Enduring Gray there was trying to avoid that machine gun with a charge shot because it gives you invulnerability frames and takes you off the field, which causes machine gun to miss. But that had a counter hit side effect.
Yeah, and also we see the Elect Man here from Enduring Ray. That Elect Man will actually work. Elect Man will hit the air spin. So I actually like the Elect Man tech here with the air spins. It will give you a free paralysis.
And I believe if it hits an object, then it doesn't flash, only causes paralysis.
Yes, but the problem is if you get both hits, then it will still cause. And did Enduring Ray just charge through the Muramasa Sonic Boom?
Yeah, I believe that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's wow. Yeah. So yeah, SoulXCross can charge the sword chips, including Muramasa, for a Sonic Boom, but we see there Enduring Ray just charge right through it.
That was very well played, avoiding 500 damage. That was really big. And now
actually, I think that even would have been a 550. Yeah, because of the boost from SoulXCross. We see there the power of Charge Cross.
Yeah, so Charge Cross is very good at both pressuring the opponent and actually being defensive. Oh, and we see air spin into static. If that connects on SoulXCross, that's going to be very painful. On Race Cross. And yeah, there it is! And that finishes off the game. Ooh.
Wow, so yeah, we see the charge tackle through the Muramasa, and then on the next turn into the static air spin combo to take the round for Enduring Ray.
Yes, static air spin is always very fun combo to watch happen. It can be quite difficult to connect, but Enduring Ray has been doing very well with it so far.
Yeah, the thing about the static air spin is you only have to air spin once, so it's a lot shorter window to pull off compared to air spin 2 or 3. But the difference is with static, you have the bigger range compared to tornadoes, so at the same time it's a lot easier to connect with it. With the tornado, you have to be in that specific spot.
Another thing, so all these holes will deny static, which is why I think it's going to be more likely for Enduring Gray to go into either Elec or maybe Charge. Ooh. Okay, so we are in slow gauge, so these panels are going to be fixed, most likely. Nice, getting the early D-cross. And the Raceman connecting from Soul, so this is still very close start from both sides. Ooh, Soul will have very big combo this turn.
Yeah, so both players decrossed each other too. So Soul lost his erase and Enduring Ray lost charge. So we see them here now as basemen. Both of them will probably either cross or beast out this turn. We'll see what they choose to go into.
I think it's less likely for Sol to beast out because he doesn't have Q Force and he doesn't really. The base beast out chip charge isn't as powerful, so he's unlikely to go for it.
Yeah, so we see Enduring Ray now going into SoulXCross. Soul still. Oh, both of them going into SoulXCross. Enduring Ray.
Yeah.
Enduring Ray has no chips this turn. I'm not sure if that might have been a mistake.
Ouch, yeah, that was probably just pressing OK on accident.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Yeah.
Oh, you hate to see it, especially to. Oh no. So yeah, Soul takes it.
That was
That was
such a rough
very.
ending. Yeah.
Yeah, that was after the first two rounds. That was a anticlimactic ending, but yeah, well played to both players. That second round from Enduring Ray was crazy with the charging through the Muramasa was.
Yeah, that was really well played, and we got to see the static airwheel combo, which is always nice to watch. So well played.
And then from Soul, we saw that F code with the machine gun and Magnum. Yeah, I actually think the statics kind of countered Soul a little bit because he obviously wanted to be in a race as much as possible. So it was interesting to see how Soul had to play around that in this matchup. Well played.
All right, let's look at our next match, which is Salad vs Meta Wolfie. Okay, so we've already seen Meta Wolfie play. We know the general idea behind his folder, what he might go for, but this is the first match we see of Salad.
Yeah, we already saw Meta Wolfie kick my ass earlier. So yeah, so for Salad, this is a very interesting looking folder here with the H code and W code.
So I think the Navi cost, if we start by that, isn't all that unusual. So we see Bug Stop, 1800 HP, Custom Max, and First Barrier. So it's, I think, the common high HP, high custom files are Navicost.
Yeah, this is a pretty standard Falzer cost. Yeah, the first barrier to protect the Dust Cross with the full cust reg. Yeah, but what's more unique about this is we see them. Yeah, the H and W code combined. We see the Gundal Soul 3, along with the 2 Tympanis. So it looks like Salad will be going for a lot of locks with the Tympanis, along with the Fan and the Ice Seeds to set up the Gundal Soul 3.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure, but I think that getting Freeze will allow Salad to connect with most of the Gundal Soul. I'm not actually sure on the frame data behind it.
Yeah, actually, I think it should. I think the Gundal Soul 3 is 120 frames, and the Freeze is 150 frames.
Okay.
Even if they mash, you should still get at least almost the entire Gundal Soul. So yeah, it's I know Salad doesn't like using Get On, which is what you usually see to set up Gundal Soul. So this is a interesting alternative way to set it up. So we'll see if Salad can pull it off here.
And I think it's also a bit on the unusual side to see Gundal Soul in Falzar, though it does make sense because Falzar gives you dust, as you've mentioned, and that allows you to go through your folder, find your combo pieces. And one thing that Salad might even decide to go for is use Timpani, then use that to confirm a freeze, and then take in the object to fire that as 400 damage projectile.
Yeah, you don't see Timpani too often in Battle Network 6, and Timpani's actually extremely common in some of the legacy games. BN3, 4, and 5, Timpani is very common in all of those. You don't see it as often in 6, but I think it still has some good potential, so we'll see. Yeah, as you said earlier, Salad can even do some Dust Cross setups with it.
Alright, let's head into the match. Ooh, so this is a very interesting starting field. So this is actually very good for Salad, all things considered, because all these ice panels which allow her to set up, and these cubes that she can take for free. Okay, so Wolfie deciding to go with a leg cross to start with. Unfortunately, that Hitman is going to be wasted on the anti-damage.
Yeah, I think the Heatman was more for the Falser mirrors to deal with Tomahawk Cross. Obviously though, as Meta Wolfie's Gregor, Salad doesn't have to worry about a T-Hawk in this round, so still would have been nice to get that damage, though.
Okay, so this is a very interesting hand. Salad does have the setup for that double Gundal Sol, but she's playing a bit safer, deciding to go with a bit of paralysis and freeze. Ooh, and free counter hit as well.
Yeah, H and P code are actually nice. All three codes of Ice Dragon also have Flash Bomb 3, and we see there the the ×2 Dust Shot with the freeze.
Yeah.
And Salad already is up by 1,000 HP.
So this is a really big start for Salad, and she does have that perfect area for Gundal Sol, so she might end up going into Tomahawk Cross to avoid being decrossed. Or actually Beast Out makes sense to confirm that Gundal Sol.
Yeah, Spout Cross would have been good, except that Meta Wolfie's still on the Elect Cross, so that would have been an issue. We'll see if Meta Wolfie can do anything here to reclaim that area and avoid being locked into the Gundal Sol.
Ooh, Salad has the Wind Rack, so yeah, that will deal with the life aura, though unfortunately wouldn't give her the decross. Invis is pierced by Gundal Sol, so there is that. Ooh, that interrupted. Okay. There was still plenty of damage to finish off that game. Unfortunately, Wolfie wasn't able to push Salad with that Wind Rack.
Yeah, that was a very short first round there. We saw the power of Gundal Sol when you can get it set up at 480 damage.
Yeah.
So it's hard to set up, but if you do get the setup for it, it can end rounds very quickly.
I think the interesting interaction is that Wolfie had Wind Rack at the end there, but because Salad was in Beast Out, that Wind Rack didn't push her. If she was in normal Mega Man or in any cross, then that would have pushed. So that's one thing you don't see as often. Ooh. Getting decross turn 1 is going to be rough. Ooh.
Oh, and the Meta Wolfie's actually locked.
That was unfortunate movement from Wolfie. Let's see, he doesn't have the option to cross out into anything. He does have Sanctuary and Panel Return.
And Salad is going for no. It looks like Salad picked no chips and is staying as full
yeah,
cust.
she had the full cust in hand.
And that's gonna also.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that also gets rid of one of Meta Wolfie's beast turns for free. That now Meta Wolfie has the sanctuary at least to get out of that lock.
Unfortunately, she was trying to confirm that Judgment into Windrak to get D-Cross, but I don't think she can do it as easily now. Ooh, nice. She still connects it. Now this is going to make the hits from Metal Wolfie a lot weaker because he isn't able to chip charge um, Erase Beast. Erase Beast has one of the strongest chip charges.
Yeah, oh, Salad setting up the grass with that Element Man could have been even stronger if Salad had gotten that Heat Man SP, but she doesn't have it. Instead, going for the W code this turn.
She does have that Timpani in hand, so one place you could go for is use Barrier and then place Timpani, step in front of it to protect it, and then use Beast Jump to confirm Gundal Soul, but we'll see if she decides to go with that. Ooh, she might be going for chip charging, breaking chips to get that added damage from Ground Cross.
Yeah, you almost never see that. The boulders from with the ground cross charge are very hard to. Oh, that life ore is gonna deny the wall this entire turn. So.
Actually, did that hit twice?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'd need to.
I feel like it should have hit. So it depends on the timing. If it was while Solid was on Metal Wolfie's area, then that should hit twice. I didn't check the HP, so if someone can check the VOD to let us know. I think that hit twice. Now this is going to be a lot more difficult for Solid. She probably will go into Tengu Cross to deal with that life aura. But she also has that double area grab play again, so she might go for the confirmed Gundal Souls, which is a lot of damage still.
Yeah, and it looks like she is gonna go for it.
Ooh.
Oh, because now Meta Wolfie's trapped.
Yeah, it doesn't have air shoes. Let's hope she's able to get both them out. Ooh.
That is so much damage. Almost 1,000 damage from those two Gundal Souls.
Nice, and dealing with the anti-damage for free as well. But even with all of this, it's still only 200 HP difference between them, so this is still very much anyone's game. Metal Wolfie still has both his Gigas, and yeah, he can cross, he still has Muramasa, so it can still go either side.
Yeah, it's true. The base and you can never count out both the base and the kernel force. Having both of those at your disposal is very scary. Those and we also saw the recover 300s from Meta Wolfie. I think if not for the recover 300s, this would have already been over. Yeah. So those are coming in extremely clutch right now.
Yeah, especially with the Gundal Soul being able to pierce through Imbiz. Ooh. Okay, Beast Over is coming out, so that might be Colonel Force plus 30. Oh, it was Muramasa instead.
The Meta Wolfie went all the Windrak to finish it off. What a play.
That was a very quick ending to that match. That Muramasa really just very easily flipped it over. I think Salad might have had anti-damage. I think she ended up losing that as well. She tried to use that before that Muramasa.
Yeah, the Meta Wolfie went for the all or nothing
Yeah.
play, and it actually paid off for him. So that was pretty insane to see. And now we go into this third round.
Oh, but again, this field, it was the same field as game one, so this is going to be very beneficial for Salad if she's able to keep Dust Cross. Metal for using his chips because he expects that full cast to come out. Ooh, barely avoiding that Blast Man SP.
So at least now that that destroyed the cube, Salad can't take them with a Dust Cross. So at least Meta Wolfie won't have to worry about that.
And now, yeah, Salad's waiting on that full cast so that as soon as Meta Wolfie goes into Beast Out next turn, she can just use that. Okay, she does have Fan. Okay, she might go for it. She has Fan and Windrax, so that might be one way to connect Windrax to get a D-Cross on a race, which would be very big. Ooh. Looks like Metal Wolfie saw the full cast coming and decided against going into Beast Out. So that was good play from both sides actually.
Yeah, although it's not ideal to have used the Life Aura there, because now Salad will be able to put down this fan and just remove it instantly.
Going into the next turn, Salad has freezing into break chips, and she's going for the D-Cross as well, so this is going to be a very big turn for Salad if she's able to connect everything.
Yeah, it is also possible to dodge the wind gusts. Oh, but yeah, especially on those ice panels, I don't think it would have been possible.
And Metal Wolfie, ooh, I was just saying he's hiding behind these normal panels, but that wind pulling him and so being able to get that 2x damage at the very end there.
Yeah, you don't see the wind boxes used too often, but as we saw there, they can be very clutch in situations like that, especially Fan. And we saw a Salad making good use of it there. We'll see if Meta Wolfie will try to use an anti-damage or something to avoid the flash bomb.
Yeah, I think Metal Wolfie should have enough time to step back and just Buster Shot to remove that flash bomb, but Salad doesn't plan to give that to Metal Wolfie that easily. She has that wind drag, but let's see. Ooh, the anti-damage. Oh wow! Getting the D-Cross on the back movement. That fan was doing very well for Sal. Now we see more ice coming out. She has the Ice Seed, Aqua Dragon, but it looks like she decides against going into Spout Cross, which is interesting. I guess going into Spout is the greedier play. She's careful of, she's trying to be careful of Colonel Force.
Yeah, and with these ice panels, the only way Meta Wolfie can go into the middle will be from the back column, like right now. But this could make it a lot harder to avoid the Tomahawk Beast charge.
And even if he tries to step under the ice panel, that's going to freeze him, which, because he doesn't know what Salad could be planning, that could also be risky. Because he might expect Rolling Log to come out from Salad, especially because she went into Tomahawk Cross. So staying in the middle might not be worth it for him to take the 2 hits.
Yeah, so this could be a very devastating turn for Salad unless Meta Wolfie comes up with something clutch to deal with it. He is taking a long time in the customizing. Oh, and
Ooh.
into Slash.
And Sanctuary coming out, so that Ice Seed, if Cell's able to land that, is going to be very big. Ooh. Nice. So that will give him flashing, which confirms the Ice Seed landing.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice for a Meta Wolfie going into Slash Beast there. Slash Beast charge can do the most damage out of any Beast charge, but without any setup, it is very hard to land.
And I think he didn't quite expect that Salad would have that much defense going into that turn. I was expecting that he might come out with Colonel Force, since Colonel Force is a pretty good way to set up for maximum damage. Wolfie is camping on the last Sanctuary panel that he has, so that barrier is going to need to take 400 damage before it goes away.
Yeah, no, Tim Panny's effect is also blocked by having the barrier up, so yeah, Salad's going into Tengu Cross to remove that immediately.
And I think we've already seen Life Aura come out from Meta Wolfie, so Salad doesn't have to worry about that as much. And she does have these area grabs, so if she's able to get max area, then Tomahawk Cross can be very very strong at pressuring the opponent. That Judgment connects, so that will confirm the flash bomb. Yeah, there was. Ooh, Q-Force coming out. That had the plus 30 as well, so that was as much damage as would have been with the Beast out. But unfortunately, Meta Wolfie wasn't able to center himself to get in any extra damage. Ooh. Oh, still 14. The Sanctuary panel barely saved Salad.
Yeah, now we and it looks like Salad's going into Beast over with the Timpani and the two Gondal Souls. And yeah, that leftover holy panel from Meta Wolfie's Sanctuary really saved Salad from that grab revenge.
Ooh, Invis coming out. And the two recoveries. Salad's HP is draining down. Beast over looks like he's waiting a bit too long. She might end up losing out on. Yeah, that did a bit of damage, but that wasn't nearly enough. Salad's down to 1 HP.
Yeah, it looks like Meta Wolfie's gonna just manage to clutch this game and the base finish.
Finishing off with base. Oh.
What? Yeah. Added a race, man.
Okay. That was the first time I see that one.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. Meta Wolfie was really just going that crazy. Even the base finish wasn't enough. He had to just throw in the erase man there too. Jeez.
I assume that the erase man was used within the 3-frame window, but I didn't think that would be used after the game ends, especially with how the cursor looked. It was blinking like that. That was a bit weird.
Yeah, that. I think that's happened before with a Meteor Knuckle, but I've never seen it with a Race Man. So
I guess even after all this time playing the game, there's always new stuff to learn.
Yeah, but with that erase mana weirdness aside, that was a very good
Yeah,
match. Well played by both players. The beast over using beast over. We saw it how it worked out for Meta Wolfie in the second round, and then we saw it not work out so well for Salin in the third round. It can be pretty inconsistent, so it's always a risk going for it.
yeah. I think she might have actually had enough damage if the second Gundal Soul was able to connect. She might have been able to get that game. Because I think at the end there, Metalfi had about 400 HP. So if everything
Yeah,
had connected from Salad, then that could have still been in her game, even with all that big HP difference.
yeah, it would have been very close, but yeah, the way the Beast over AI works, it's really weird about like using chips or sometimes not using chips
Yeah,
while the other person's invisible. So I think Meta Wolfie using because even though the Gundel Soul would pierce Invis, the it still tricked the Beast over AI. So I think that also helped Meta Wolfie.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, that was very well played from both sides. That was really fun match to watch. Now we're heading into the next match, which is Metalfi vs Neryth.
Yeah, so we'll see if Neryth can stop Meta Wolfie's rampage.
Yeah, so the folder Neryth is running is actually really interesting. So it's somewhat similar to the idea that Salad's going for, but in execution it's going to be very, very different.
Yeah, so it has the same W code that Salad's folder has, but it doesn't have the H code. It's just entirely a W code. And what we see here is basically just a full-on tomahawk cross folder with the bamboo sword, the amboober, and I don't think it has the rolling log tech like Salad's had, but it also has magnums and summon blacks. So
Yeah, so Neryth is going full with breaking panels and trying to confirm his Gundal Souls that way. Whereas, so unfortunately, Metalfi isn't running any air shoes, which is very common in Gregar. So normally, what Neryth is running would be basically very difficult to connect with Gregar. But Metalfi is going to have to struggle basically vs that build.
yeah, Neryth doesn't have any uninstalls, so versus Gregor that had air shoes, the get on into Gundel Soul wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But since Meta Wolfie has no shoes, yeah, this could be a very bad matchup for him. We'll have to see how he decides to play this.
Alright, let's head into the match. The I guess one thing to mention, in usual Neryth fashion, we don't see um, nearly enough defense, or enough in quotations. He has one anti-damage, one anti-navi, one barrier 200, and one life orb. That's all the defense he has. Um, so Metalfi might be able to more easily connect his gigas, his offensive chips. So this is by no means just going to be that easy fighting game.
Yeah, I can't see these matches going on too long either way. I think these are going to
Yeah.
be fairly quick rounds.
Ooh, looks like Metalfi is staying in base, man. I did he take Invis with him? Because that could be one way to get anger and try to get 2x out of rush.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Meta Wolfie brought the Invis, but I guess we'll see. Meta Wolfie does have some good chips in the folder to take advantage of a potential anger. He has the Element Man SP, the Blast Man SP, and obviously both of the Gigas. So
Ooh, see that turn one Gundam and the Gundam Soul instantly. And then losing Element Man SP to beat. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, with the Element Man SP, Meta Wolfie could have made ice panels
Ooh,
to get out of this.
the second Gundal Soul as well. That was over 800 damage just in one turn.
Yeah, so now Meta Wolfie does have the panel return in Life Aura, but yeah, already at a huge HP deficit here from those Gundel Souls.
Yeah, so I don't think Metolfi had anything that could protect him. I think he was expecting to use the Element Man SP in a TFC, so he wouldn't have to worry about losing that to beat. Ooh, nice. And the second bamboo sword connecting as well, which confirms.
Yeah, Neryth did miss the Element Man freeze there.
If he went for freeze, that would have been game. Oh no, Metolfi was flashing, it looks like. No, actually, that flashing was from the Element Man, yeah. So that freeze would have finished off the game.
Yeah, I actually do like the bamboo sword tech here because since it's a wood chip, it doesn't cause blinking. And with the Tomahawk cross charge, it will do a 300 damage. So if you could spam all three of those in a row, like Neryth went for there, that could be up to 900 damage.
Yeah.
And then the Gundel Souls is another 900 damage. So W code, even without a double beast, is extremely powerful.
Yeah, these have been very devastating combos. Just getting out all of that damage very quickly, where poor Metolfi didn't really have any chance to react to it.
Yeah, and then in the EXE version, you'd add double beast to all of this. So yeah, W code is you don't see it too often in BN6, but it's nothing to be underestimated.
Oh, that will bring Metolfi down to 1 HP, and now Neryth can just go with his buster shots to finish off the game, and he still had that Geddon to remove that Sanctuary. Ooh.
Yeah, there was not much Meta Wolfie could have done there. That was a brutal round one, but we'll see how he responds here in round two.
Metolfi is deciding to go into SoulXCross. This time we might be seeing Erased Beast next turn, but he also has Slow Gauge, and actually Slow Gauge is one of the ways that Metolfi can change this game into his favor, because Neryth does have a lot of very explosive damage, but his lack of defense means that in the slow game Metolfi can try to add up his advantages until he can get some of his gigas or his big chips. Ooh, but we see that turn 1 beast out again. Are we going to see that double Gundal Soul combo come out? Ooh, okay, so Metolfi does have Sanctuary, so he can keep that in hand, try to protect himself. Oh, Judgment. That might have been a good place to use his TFC.
I think Meta Wolfie just really wants to camp the Sanctuary. Yeah, for a situation like this. And yeah, now we see here, as you were saying, with that slow gauge, Meta Wolfie is able to get in more of these SoulXCross charge shots here, and we actually see him with a slight lead.
Now he can try to go into Beast Out and try to even connect that Muramasa. He can take panel return in case of Geddon. And he does have some defense for any real-time chips like the Meteor Knuckles that I believe Neryth is running.
Yeah, the problem is, though, with the Sanctuary and now panel return already gone, if Neryth doesn't have to get on here, then Neryth Meta Wolfie will have no answers to it for the rest of the round.
And if Metal Wolfie ends up chip charging it and Neryth uses his Geddon afterwards, then that can also be devastating for Metal Wolfie. I mean, we've already seen Neryth do almost 1000 damage in one turn, so this game could end just this turn. And there is the Geddon coming out. Ooh. Actually, if Metal Wolfie had TFC'd with his panel return. Okay. There is. Ooh, Bamboo Sword. Let's see. Muramasa does connect. That brings them down to 250 or so HP difference.
Yeah, I think this was only, what, the second turn, and we see here
Yeah.
both players already under 500 HP after just 2 turns.
This match is very different compared to what we saw last game from Salad vs Metal Wolfie.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of Neryth's folders in general. It's basically someone's gonna die really fast. Like either way.
Yeah, he just tries to make sure it's not him. But yeah. Metal Wolfie is trying to think through his turn. He's thinking about starting with the Blast Man, so that will bring down Neryth to 1 HP.
Yeah, but the problem is that will leave Neryth blinking, whereas the Wind Rack.
Okay, looks like it will be the Wind Rack. Let's see if that connects though. Nice, it does. Ooh! Bamboo Sword almost allowed Neryth to avoid these Buster charges, but then he went back into that panel and was finished off by the Gregar Buster. Okay, so this time we don't see any way for Metal Wolfie to gain back his area. I don't think he has Element Man. So this might end up being very rough for him. Yeah, that was Judgment.
Yeah, the one thing he can do is if he's in the middle row, because Beasta will always use the Gundel Soul from the middle row. If he's also in the middle, he could at least use that the stun from that Judgment to knock Neryth out of it. Ooh. But now I'm not sure if that blast man TFC may have been a mistake.
Yeah, so now Beat's still there, so fortunately that Judgment is going to be wasted. Ooh, and Geddon is coming out, so this is going to be a confirmed turn for Neryth to land his charge shots, which will decross Metal Wolfie. Yeah, there is Slug Gauge with Tengu is going to be very rough. Tengu is the second highest DPS between all of the crosses.
Yeah, Tengu is hard. It can be hard to set up, but since it doesn't cause blinking with its hit, it doesn't have to wait for the 120 frames, so he can just charge you as fast as possible. We see there, even without all those W combos, Metal Wolfie takes 700 damage.
And now Metal Wolfie is going to have to throw away one of his SP nabbies to deal with that life orb, though he's going to Beast out, which is an interesting play. I'm not really sure why he decided against going into SoulXCross, for example.
Oh, we see a slight... Oh no!
Ooh.
Oh no! We see mistakes here from both players this round, actually.
Yeah, they probably... Unfortunately, sometimes games do lag, and that was probably what happened there, because both their attacks basically completely miss.
Yeah, but Metal Wolfie has at least survived those Gundel Souls. Still down by about 600 HP, but with those 2 gigas, he can always make a comeback.
Yeah, and I think this turn he might have to go into a different cross to try to use that to deal with life aura and take his own defense with life aura. I think that might be the play.
Unlucky for to be this far in and to not have any of his wind racks show up. And yeah, Erase is gone, so he might have to go into Heat Beast here to deal with this life aura.
Though unfortunately, all of these defenses that he's taking, they wouldn't help him against Gandalf Soul, which is basically the main win condition that Neryth is going for.
Yeah, but we already saw 2 of the Gandalf Souls come out from Neryth on the last turn. Oh, but with this, get on.
Yeah, and even worse is that Meta Wolfie isn't able to beast jump either, so he doesn't have any way to deal with that life aura, even if he wanted to charge. Oh, that is that Gandalf Soul finishing off the game. Leaving Meta Wolfie there without any way of really dealing with it. Maybe the recovery 300 would have been the better play to just give him a bit of HP to allow him to survive maybe into the next turn.
Yeah, I think Gadon and Gundel Soul is the worst possible matchup for No Shoes Gregor.
Yeah, definitely. That was really rough for Meta Wolfie. That was well played. Managed to get that game and bring it to game 3, where unfortunately his draws, he didn't get Sanctuary, he didn't get his panel panel fix, so that ended up just being, even just from his draws, very unfortunate.
Yeah, not even a wind rack to deal with Neryth's life aura. That was very unfortunate. But still, well played to both players. These last 2 rounds with both Salad and Neryth, we've seen the power of Gundel Soul 3, even without the Kernel Force.
Alright, let's head into our next match, which will be Symes vs Shadow. Okay, so I believe we've already seen Symes play, but this is the first match we see from Shadow.
Yeah, so what we see from Shadow is a G-code folder that also has the flash bombs and a poison pharaoh.
Yeah, so it looks like Shadow's going for objects build, but he's also running bugged without emotion bug. So he's probably going to end up going into Dust Cross, trying to find his win conditions, and using Meteor Knuckles with these 5 area grabs, trying to land his charge shots, especially because he has attack max. So that's very interesting build.
Yeah, and he also has that custom bug, so if he can't get bug fixed, that will be something to watch out for.
And yeah, so as the matchup, it's going to be interesting to try to see when Shadow decides to use Tomahawk. Tomahawk Cross is going to be a very valuable resource because it's going to protect him from all the freezing plays that Symes might end up going for, but he will have to watch out for that Blast Man or Elements Man to come out with the D-Cross.
Yeah, the thing about the P code, or is at least the thought process behind it is so the freeze would get stopped by Tomahawk, but since I want to be using it with Charge Cross beats Tomahawk obviously, so it kind of can work out pretty nicely in that regard.
Yeah. And another thing to point out is that Shadow's running Bodyguard all the components for Bodyguard at least, so he might actually end up going for it because he does have uninstall, he does have get in. I don't think he has White Capsule now, but he does have the option to go for it if he decides to do that.
Yeah, if he lands the uninstall and the get on, he would be able to. It is interesting that he only has the one anti-damage to go with the anti-navi and anti-sword. So we'll see if that does show up at some point.
Alright, here we go. Okay, so watching from Symes' point of view, and we see that rigged Aqua Dragon and that White Shot. I think one interesting thing is the corn shot. So we see two of them. I'm not really sure, other than dealing extra damage, why they're there.
It's because off the freeze, if you're really fast, you can use it after the freeze and then do a charge tackle, and then the charge tackle will do a 390 damage with
wow.
attack 5.
You have time to land all of that?
It's pretty tight. I think I'm not sure if it's actually like a quote unquote true combo or not. It's very close. I think with a perfect mashing they could obviously get out of it. And we also see a shadow here with the color bug start off invisible.
And he has color bug level 1 though, so that wouldn't last the whole turn. Oh, and bug fix out already.
Yeah, so Shadow will not have to worry about that custom bug this game.
Okay, so now Rush is going away, so Shadow's probably going to cross into something else turn 2, which might end up being Dust Cross. But now Static is obviously going to be less valuable for Shadow. Ooh. Let's see if he's able to get the D-Cross with Spout. That dive man is unfortunately going to miss. Ooh, that's going to be very close. Ah, and the D crosses. But we do have fast gauge.
Yeah, we saw the fast gauge come out there at the end of the turn.
I think fast gauge is going to be very important for Symes because Shadow has Poison Pharaoh or Anubis, he has these Poison Seeds, uninstall, attack max, so Shadow wants the game to be, so slow gauge is better for him.
Yeah, usually in False Reverse Gregor matchups it's the other way around, but in this case the fast gauge actually will also benefit the Gregor.
We went into custom before the turn ends, so that will give Symes the opportunity to use something like Life Aura, as we're seeing here, to protect from Flash Bomb. But if Shadow expects that, he might have his own Raceman, for example, or Windrak. Ooh. That was very close actually. I think that might have been frame perfect or very close to it. Let's see if the anti-damage, yeah, the anti-damage went away.
Yeah, so the Flash Bomb actually went off in time, but this Life Aura will now block the ground ban SP.
For this, I don't think Shadow would have wanted to cross cancel into Tengu to deal with that Life Aura because Tomahawk Cross gives him a lot of value in protecting him from being frozen.
Yeah, and so we see here a Shadow took damage from that Grab Revenge, so this is not a anti-damage. Yeah. This is either anti-Navi or anti-Sword, and now we see him put up a different trap.
So yeah, I think it's going to be likely that you might end up throwing an Navi Dutch just to confirm which this is before leading, because you have good combo potential if you do the White Shot into Eraseman to freeze and then dealing damage with the charge shot.
Yeah, but the only issue for that is that this T-Hawk needs to be cleared first.
Yeah. Ooh. The invis is going to last the whole turn because fast gauge, and invis lasts more than one turn fast gauge. Ooh, looks like it was a race man, so that will pierce the invis. I mean, it was anti-navi. Then that TFC will give the D-cross, so about 300 HP difference between them. Let's see what the follow-up is. Ooh! Normal area static with uninstall is going to lock Symes in. But the area grab is at least going to allow him to move more freely. Let's see if Shadow has his Geddon though. Geddon would be potentially very rough for Symes. Ooh, that cancelled out that flash bomb. Oh no! The poison for getting denied. That panel
Yeah,
grab.
that was an unfortunate turn for Shadow with the flash bomb being cancelled with the freeze from the wide shot and then the poison Pharaoh.
Panel grab can basically give away that you might have an object you want to place, which is why we saw Symes there try to step down to block it.
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the turn, Symes used that area grab. Before that, that panel grab actually would have given Shadow the middle column there, and he would have been able to put the Pharaoh down in the back row, which I think is what he wanted to go for.
And especially with Blastman being gone for Symes, that would have been very difficult to deal with. Ooh, nice. Yeah, now Shadow doesn't have his Tomahawk Cross, so Colonel Force there could be devastating. I think it would be more than enough damage to finish off. But obviously it's a bit riskier to go for it straight away if the opponent expects it. And yeah, there was that Geddon. So it was very good that Symes decided against taking the Q-Force. Ooh. Getting hit by that paralysis is rough. I'm not really sure why. Oh, actually, Shadow doesn't have Hubbat, yeah. So he couldn't step back.
Yeah, neither player has shoes right now, so they're both locked in here.
Symes going into Erase Beast to chip charge. That will do 400 damage with a D-Cross. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. That was a wise TFC, but now Symes has the HP lead, which he's planning to keep it on. If the Q-Force connects, that will be more than enough for game.
Yeah, and it also looks like the broken panels are starting to get repaired. I think at the end of the last turn they started flashing.
If Shadow still has Invis, then that can be very rough for Symes, because Invis lasts the whole turn, which would waste the Q-Force. Ooh, and that finishes off the game. Okay, heading into game 2, and ooh, that is a very nice starting hand. But it looks like Symes deciding against going into Charge Cross and playing it safe with going into Erase Cross and potentially Erase Beast next turn. I think I'm still one of the unfortunate things with Charge Cross Beast is that it doesn't deal pseudo breaking damage.
Yeah, charge beast charge is out of all the Gregor charges, I'd say it's definitely
Yeah.
the worst. It's actually the fastest to charge. I think it only takes 20 frames or something.
Oh wow.
But it's very inaccurate. It stops their movement, but they still have a lot of time to react to it and move into a different row. It's
Yeah.
just takes so long, the actual animation. So if it did pseudo breaking damage though, then it would be a lot better because you could use it with the freeze setups to do even more damage.
Yeah, I think it's actually one of the higher ones in terms of just damage dealt.
I think I think it might be about. I think it's about the same as a race beast actually.
Okay.
Yeah, in terms of just dealing raw damage, actually a lot of the Falzar beast charges are better than the Gregor ones.
Yeah.
But the problem with the Falzar ones is that they're a lot harder to set up compared to the Gregor ones.
Ooh, so now we see Shadows going into Tengu Cross, which will end up getting decrossed by Slash. That was unfortunate, just losing Tengu straight away. Ooh, nice. The getting the uninstall is very good. The one charge shot at the end there gave Shadow flashing, so he's going to have some freedom in trying to start off with his offensive chips. But looks like Symes deciding to stay with Slash Cross, which is going to be very high DPS if he's able to connect that, especially with Shadow having a bit less defense than average.
Yeah, it is interesting bringing the area grab this turn while already having the +1 area. Ooh, and Shadow gets the clip with the...
Okay, so the area grabs are going to cancel out. Let's see if Fan is able to move that before the back B. Ah, barely.
Yeah, now that Dust Cross has an object, it would be pretty scary to stay in Slash, so...
And going into Charge Cross works out as well because you have the combo that we've talked about at the start of the match with trying to go for freeze and then dealing 2x damage with, or 3x damage actually, with ice and grass panels. So let's see if that actually connects. Ooh, air grab, so that could deny the freeze, and it does. Let's see if the white shot's able to confirm that freeze.
Yeah, but now with this blind from the flash bomb and the holes in the way, this is gonna be...
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Still gets free counter hit though. And 2x damage with that blast man. So that was still not bad value. Okay, so it looks like Sam's thinking about going into Beast out, but that might be a bit rough, especially with being in Charge Cross. And Q-Force with all these broken panels isn't going to do as much. Okay, but looks like Beast out also gives the indicator which allows Symes to see where Shadow is, and unfortunately now we know that this raceman ends up missing. And Invis, that's going to be really rough. Symes going to have to wait a bit more, but then Meteor Knuckles as well to 3 hits and breaking panels.
Yeah, so using your folder last week in the Freaky Friday, And also, Shadows the week before, both with a Meteor Knuckle. I'd actually almost forgotten about how good it can be.
Yeah.
Not just for the damage, but we also see here it breaking the panels. It actually can counter Kernel Force. So it looks like Symes is actually gonna have to give up Kernel Force here, which you almost never want to see from Gregor. So
Yeah, but then again, looking at Shadow's HP as 520, so chip charging can do a lot of damage from Symes. Ooh, the Erase Man will connect though. Let's see if Shadow has any way to deal with that life aura. If he does, this could be very rough. Looks like he doesn't. Let's see if he can get any avoids. The first one connects, and I don't think the Ice Seed can be chip charged. Yeah, because
no. So actually, Ice Seed in a Battle Network 5 was null, which was actually bad because you couldn't sacrifice it to use a soul. And then in a 6 they made it Aqua, which is bad because you can't beast charge it. So if it was the other way around, if it was the Aqua in 5, it would have been a lot more useful. But but now we see going into Heat Beast here. This game is very close right now.
Yeah, I think it all depends on if Shadow still has his Windrak, because we've already seen him use Tangle Cross. If there is no Windrak, that can be very bad. Ooh, we see that Windrak, but Symes might be able to avoid that with but then loses anti-damage. Trying to avoid that end up being very rough. That will remove the anti-damage, but we do see that corn shot. And it does connect, and the Windrak as well. Ooh! Beast jumping. If Symes didn't go into Beast out, that actually would have been game for Symes. Beast jump ended up causing him to jump into the Aqua Spiral from Shadow and finished off the game.
Yeah, the Beast Jump with a wide shot. Wide shot is actually a pretty useful chip, but it's kind of similar to Triple Crack. It's not great with a Beast to use with Beast out.
Yeah.
The Beast Jump will
Oh, nice. Symes using his charge shot to avoid being paralyzed and gets that freeze, so he should be able to get that 2x damage. And yeah, there is. Ooh, the second one does connect though and destroys that fan immediately. But with these two area grabs, looks like Symes is going into SoulXCross next turn. And yeah, so this might be very difficult turn for Shadow. SoulXCross has very high DPS. Ooh, going to Spout, interesting.
Yeah, I think Shadow thought that Symes might have just stayed in Charge Cross since it's a big part of this folder. So he went into Spout to go for the D Cross. But now we see here he gets a freeze with Element, man.
Gives a free charge shot, yeah. And then the Anti-Navi comes out with the Blast Man. And though it doesn't connect because Symes still had flashing. Ooh, we see Q-Force already. If Symes is able to connect the area grab and Q-Force, that will be more than enough damage, especially with chip charging with SoulXCross. Okay, let's see if that connects. One invis can deny the whole combo. Ooh, life orb, but is that Windrak going to connect? Very close. Ah. And yeah, there's the beast charge. That wasn't quite enough to finish off the game, but that was still a lot of damage coming out.
Oh, and misses the freeze on the element, man, but still with the Q force into the slash beast charge. Yeah, that's over 1,000 damage, so. And now going into Erase Beast here.
It's going to be very difficult to try to avoid these erase beast charges. So unless Shadow is able to decross, which is also going to be very difficult, this might be the last turn. Ooh, beast out's coming out. Symes does have a lot of defense, especially with that life aura and anti-damage stacked together. And going into... yeah, so... Ooh, nice! And avoids the second one as well. That was very well played from Shadow.
Yeah, as we see there, the Dust Beast charges actually can be very useful. It basically takes you off the field, so you're completely invincible. And we see a Shadow use it right there very well to avoid those two tail arrows.
Yeah, I think Symes might have had the opportunity to react to it because Dust Chip Charge is slower than Erase, but obviously with lag and with unpredictability of online play, that can be very difficult to try to look through.
Yeah, it's also a lot harder because it's a lot easier for Erase Beast to within slow gauge, but they were just in a normal gauge here, so Erase Beast has a lot less time. But now we see here the Elect Beast against
using that machine gun a bit too early. It's going to be very difficult to try to avoid the electric charge. Oh, and getting hit 3 times by it at the very end, which finishes off that game.
Yeah, we see the Elect Beast charge there. I've seen the Elect Beast charge do 2 hits before against Tomahawk Cross, but the 3 hits there, yeah, that's just very unfortunate for Shadow at the end.
Yeah, so if he didn't have status guard, then that would have only hit once. So, but getting the status guard brought down Shadow to 1 HP, and then the third hit finished him off. But yeah, that was a very close match. Well played to both sides. That was a lot of fun to watch through.
I've also seen that with a status guard against Bubble Star. If you step backwards and you can get hit like 3 or even 4 times by a Bubble Star. So yeah, we see there that a status guard can sometimes actually work against you like that.
Alright, well played to both sides. Now we're heading into the next match, which is Salad vs Neryth.
Yeah, this is gonna be a very interesting. We're gonna see a Gundel Soul against Gundel Soul, and the thing about Gundel Soul is when you're using it on them, it would leave you completely open for them to use it on you. So we could see them both just Gundel Souling each other at the same time, which I think with that extra HP would work out in Salad's favor.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point, but that being said, Neryth does have the more offensive folder with almost no defense, so that might end up working out better for him, because against Gundel Soul, basically no defense can help. So being the more offensive Gundel Soul build is going to be very interesting, so we're going to have to watch out at how they end up playing against each other.
Yeah, the only thing that can block Gundel Soul is Reflector, which was actually changed in Battle Network 6. In a 4 and 5, I don't think Reflector blocked Gundel Soul. I think it just went through it, so it's interesting that they changed it. But yeah, we're about to see some Tai-O, some Django matchups here.
Alright, let's head into the match. Okay, so another thing to mention is that does shield also block Gundam Soul? Because Solid has hub badge, so she has the option to go for shield plays as well.
No, I don't think shield blocks it. I think it's actually just the reflector chips,
Okay.
which is interesting. Yeah, Gundam Soul also got some other changes in 6 compared to 4 and 5. In 4 and 5, it instantly removed objects, so it was useful for
Oh,
that. And you could also you had to hold the A, you had to keep the A button held down to use it, which was also nice because if it missed, you could cancel it early. Whereas in 6, you're stuck using it for the entire time.
okay, I see. Ooh, looks like Neryth decided to go into Tengu Cross, so might be seeing getting coming out. Or even just to try to get a D-Cross with the Magnums or Erasement that he has.
Yeah, so it looks like a Solid's gonna beast out here in case Neryth decides to go for the get on Gundam Soul. That will keep Solid protected from it.
Okay, so she's deciding on which chips she wants to throw to the back of the folder. That judgment is going to be nice to paralyze. Ooh, and it looks like she's going for that timpani into Gundam Soul. Beat goes away into. I mean, Judgment goes away to beat. Nice. That was good timing from Salad being able to protect her anti-damage. Ooh, and she avoided that back B as well.
Yeah, the Timpani, though, doesn't last too long. It wore off partway through the Gundam Soul, so
Yeah.
Solid couldn't get the entire thing, but still a significant amount of damage.
So both of them have Fire SP Navi, with Solid having Hitman SP and Neryth having Blastman SP. So they're going to be careful in when they go to their Tomahawk Cross. Because getting decrossed by 2x SP Navi is very difficult, is very painful. Ooh, and yeah, Solid decides to TFC the anti-damage. And the second, so this is going to give, yeah, anger. So we'll see if Neryth decides to stay in basement to try to get some advantage of that 2x. Meteor Knuckles 2x can be very devastating.
Yeah, we do see a Solid with a Invis, though, so she could use that to avoid the Knuckle.
So in chat, Shadow is pointing out how that timpani was destroyed, and ooh, that Meteor Knuckles does come out. Solid didn't have the defense, and that brought
And
down.
we see Solid down to just 1 HP. What a reversal from Neryth.
Let's see if no, yeah, a single Buster Shot just finishes off that game. That was 1600 damage from that Meteor Knuckles.
Yeah, we saw Solid with a huge lead there that just evaporated in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a mistake that I've made too, but I never underestimate Meteor Knuckle. That thing can just come out of nowhere and just completely turn the game around.
Yeah, I mean, this is still pretty much how an Earth folder plays. The games are going to end very quickly. And that was a prime example of that happening. Ooh, looks like Neryth going for Tengu again, trying to deal with that first barrier so he can try to get a D-cross. So on a night in chat saying that Salad there was expecting Gundal Soul to come out instead of that Meteor Knuckles, but seeing that 2x is always very scary, seeing what your opponent could have. Even Blastman 2x doing 500 damage would be very bad. So it was very interesting that Salad decided against going the Invis first. Ooh, another area grab coming out, so Neryth showing his advantage with all of these area grabs, now getting the D-Cross and removing the anti-damage. So let's see. Ooh. Crush is going to paralyze Salad, but that will give her anger if she decides to keep that, which looks like she is. With that Judgment
Yeah,
2x. Ah,
that's unfortunate.
yeah, these utility Navicost pieces, Beat and Rush are really doing Salad very badly. Neryth is getting very big advantage thanks to them. The Judgment would have even been very good damage because the books get boosted by 2x while they don't get boosted by plus 30 or double point either.
Yeah, actually, that's on Judgment SP. Also, the books can actually really add up with a 2x.
The Blastman dealing with both the Flash Bomb and doing 500 damage, and now okay, looks like Neryth decided to go for the chip charge instead of just the back three. Now Neryth has quite the big lead in HP, he has almost 1000 HP up on Salad. And a lot more offensive pressure to go as well. Because I think we still haven't seen any Gundal Souls coming out from Neryth this game, so this might be the turn where they do. Oh, that Magnum is going to confirm that. But at least Salad does have her badge, so that's going to protect her. And the second Magnum, removing the anti-damage and bringing Salad's HP quite a lot lower. She does have Aqua Chips in hand, which give 50 HP when used with SoulXCross, so there is still a bit of recovery that she can try to get. I'm guessing, yeah, so she was thinking between taking that one track or doing 2x damage, so she can still do a lot of damage. She has two Aqua Dragons that can be boosted and the Aura Head. Ooh. The TFC saved Salad.
See here the oh, now it's
Nice. But that will freeze. Let's see if he has any follow-up. The Spatman, I don't think that's quite enough for game. Oh, that was okay. Yeah, there was. That finishes off that match.
yeah. So well played to both players there. We saw some huge swings with the that maximum damage meteor knuckle from Neryth in the first round, and then in the second round the two spout charged ice dragons into the aura head to almost bring it back.
Yeah, that was definitely very close. I think at the end there Salad could have been a bit more greedy, tried to get in a charge shot because that would freeze and extend the time Neryth is frozen while also dealing that damage. But that was definitely very rough, very rough matchup for Salad.
We didn't really see either of them get
Hmm,
that much out of the Gundel Souls though,
yeah,
because it is much harder to get set up against Falser Beast.
Yeah, that is a very good point. Fuzzer has the option to go into Beast Out or Tango Cross, which gives free air shoes, and also
Yeah,
Salad has that hub batch.
yeah. We also saw Salad with that hub badge,
Yeah.
but yeah, that times two Knuckles in
Ooh.
the first. That was
Yeah, well played to both sides. Now we're heading into our final match of the stream, which is SoulXCross vs Salad.
yeah. So we saw Soul earlier against Enduring Ray. So we've got now this will be interesting because Salad goes for those ice panels, but Soul has the flow chews, so the ice panels won't actually affect them.
Yeah, but also Sol is running Gregar and he doesn't have any access to air shoes. So if Salad's able to break some panels, then she might be able to get a lot of advantage. For example, with Element Man.
Yeah, or with the if she goes for Dust Beast charges.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. You usually see the air shoes instead of float shoes, in which case the ice panels would actually work better. But yeah, those float shoes will be pretty clutch for Soul in this matchup. So let's get into it.
Alright, let's head into our final match for the stream. Okay, now we're seeing Sol trying to think about which cross he wants to start with. Starting with charge is going to be risky because Salad has the two Aqua Dragons. But he knows that she might go for the full cast. So maybe going into a race is going to be good for him. Because he can try to get the advantage through that slow gauge and then finishing off the game with... I mean, not finishing off the game. Finishing off Dust Cross with Race Beast next time.
Yeah, but it also looks like he's going for that immediate machine gun, and since he also has Rush, that's very hard to defend against for Salad.
Yeah, and Salad has two Invisible as well, so she has a bit less defense. So we'll see how she ends up dealing with that. She might just go straight for the full cast because of how many cursor chips Sol has.
Ooh, but the barrier 200 will
Ooh. The Invis was actually working against Sol.
Oh, and Salad takes 2 hits there from that charge.
And
Yeah,
misses her cubes as well.
Yeah, against the normal Gregor matchup with the Ice Siege, he actually could have camped the center row and been completely safe against the Erase Cross. But we see here with those float shoes from Soul, that will not work.
Yeah, now Sol is going into Beast Out, though we might be... I mean, we've seen Salad do that play already against Meta Wolfie. That focus is probably going to come straight away. There it is.
Yeah, Soul does at least manage to get the barrier 200 out of time. It is very impressive for a Salad to be able to keep Dust for 2 turns against F code like this, but this turn, unless she has life or it will probably be gone.
Or unless she can get a D-Cross, which is also possible. She does have 2 Windrax in her folder.
Yeah, but it will be pretty tough with that barrier 200 up for Soul. Maybe if she goes into Tengu Cross, which is exactly what's going to happen here.
So she might go for the freeze plays. Let's see if she's able to get that. Ooh, nice. Okay, so she was maybe waiting for TFC, and she does have a lot of defense that she didn't want to waste against Erase chip charges. Actually, one thing I'm not sure about, would Erase or just Beast Out be able to jump with Windrak, for example, when Tenpenny is up?
No, I don't think so. I think the immobilize effect from Timpani should stop. It might not work against Falzer Beast. Or no, I think it wouldn't work against if they were in a Tomahawk
Yeah.
Beast because of the status guard.
Ooh, but now we see Salad going into SoulXCross, so being able to get all these freezes is going to be very big in denying Soul his beast charges.
Oh, we'll see. He should be able to step forward in time.
Ooh,
Yes.
barely.
Oh, are we gonna see the? Or I mean, not Golem hit the Aura head.
Oh no, these magnums locking Salad away. She wasn't able to finish her combo with trying to freeze Soul. Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
but she gets another.
And now losing out on Beast Out, though it isn't as bad for Soul because he doesn't run Column Force, so he can just go with base or plus that. I have that plus 30 ready as well. And now he has access to going into SoulXCross, though with one area grab, it's probably a bit too risky to do that. Though looks like he might be going for it. He does also have Magnum if he wants to try to confirm SoulXCross. But if Solid goes into Beast Out here, there was. Actually, we might be seeing Gundel Soul come out from Solid this turn. Nice, connecting these Magnums. Ooh, there is. Oh, that allowed that machine gun to connect. And the Judge Man as well. And now he's able to get in a charge shot, area grab, and then the final charge shot will be confirmed if Cell doesn't have any defense. And yeah, that will finish off that game.
Yeah, that was a very close first round. Salad almost was able to finish Soul off with the Gundel Souls, but Soul had that Element Man to break the Timpani and get out of it.
Yeah, and even that machine gun, being able to get all 4 hits, that was very big for Soul. I think that was 440 damage?
Was he still in a race cross?
No, he was in Slash.
That would have only been 280 damage.
Oh. Oh yeah, it's 70 times 4. I'm not sure what I was thinking.
Yeah, maybe got it mixed up with the Gundel Soul.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, but now going into game 2, looks like Sol also has 2 machine guns already, so he's going into a race cross, but he doesn't really have any defense outside of that barrier 200, so he might be risking getting decrossed. But let's see if Solid does that same play with holding into that full cost.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing Salad has to decross a race is those wind racks, and those are, you can't really confirm that one beat out, so. A race cross here on turn 1 is probably very safe, yeah. But instead of going into Dust, staying in a base man here, so that will not get the decross.
She was able to get that flash bomb, but unfortunately she didn't really do that much with it. And I think that Windrak actually connected. Nice movement from Solid, being able to avoid the charge shots that Sol is trying to pressure with.
Yeah, I don't think Salad triggered Rush though that turn, so Soul will still have to watch out for that. I mean, Salad will still have to be careful of Rush.
Yeah, she might even go into Dust Cross and immediately use full cost, expecting Soul to go into Beast Out. But it looks like Soul is staying in base race cross, but he is taking a lot of chips, so he's going to keep his hand if full cost does come out. Ooh, timpani and life orb, but Sol does have his Windrak ready. And
yeah, but we saw Solid there very quickly dust suck the timpani and shoot it back out at Soul to get that 200 damage before losing SoulXCross.
yeah, ooh, and now barely avoiding that charge cross as well. Very well played from Salad. And movement's very much on point. And Sol missing out on using his invis at the very end there.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Soul. Salad doesn't have Rush either, so he would have just been able to keep that invisible and have it for the start of this next turn. But instead he's going in and he's vulnerable if Salad has anything to hit him with.
Oh, he does have that Windrak into Muramasa. So if he is able to connect with that, that will be 1000 damage to finish off the game. But Salad is in Tango Cross, so she might be able to decross or even apply a lot of pressure if she has the defense to support it. She's already used Life Aura, so maybe Barrier 200 can be very big for her. Oh, we see she goes into Beast Out.
Oh, that's gonna, yeah. Oh,
Ooh, getting that counter decross, though that wasn't an actual counter hit, I don't think. That was very unfortunate for Sol missing all of that damage, but now he's thinking about going into Slash Cross. He does have Erase Man and Element Man, so he's going to go for that chip charges to go for 400 damage.
yeah. Versus the Tengu Cross, that would actually be 800 damage. So almost as much as the Muramasa would have been.
Okay, so he is starting with a bit more defense. He really doesn't want to get decrossed by that aura head, especially with the potential of being frozen from Salad. But
Yeah, it is kind of risky starting with the barrier 200 here, while Salad still has Tengu Cross. So
ooh, though looks like she crossed out in Spout, so we might be seeing these Aqua combos come out.
yeah, and he's using the barrier and anti-damage to... Oh, just misses the Element Man a lot.
Ooh, and Fan. Okay, so he decided to TFC Invis to try to keep his anti-damage. Ooh, that Flash Bomb unfortunately is going to go through both of them, but he's going to be able to get in some damage with his Beast Buster. Oh, and the Aqua Dragon was used a bit too early, which ended up missing. Ooh, nice. The Eraseman does connect at the very end there. We still haven't seen Sol use his Giga base, so, and there it was. And he does have that plus 30, so it looks like he is going for it.
Yeah, we know that Soul is a big base fan, so it would be pretty good if he was able to confirm the base here to finish off the game.
But obviously that is quite a bit of an overkill, and going into SoulXCross might be a bit risky because Salad still has that Rolling Log. So if she goes into Tomahawk Cross, that can be a lot of damage.
Yeah, even though only the first... oh, and let's see, Salad is going into the Tomahawk Cross here. Rush. Does she have any more defense for this base?
Soul is trying to wait out, trying to use that as defense. No, he actually didn't want to connect with that charge shot because that gave Salad the chance to TFC for free. And there comes that rolling block into that Gandalf Soul, finishing off the game. Ooh, that was quite the ending. Sounds very close to losing there.
Yeah, that was very clutch. And we see there the power of the timpani, even in BN6, can still be useful.
Yeah, Solid played it there very patiently, so that was very well played. But now as we head into game 3, we see that Sol is going into SoulXCross. So he might be expecting Salad to stay in baseman as she did last game, or he isn't as worried about getting decrossed.
Yeah, this is risky because if Salad goes into Dust, he will have to be very careful about avoiding Salad's charge shots to keep Slash. Oh, and using the area grab there is not ideal.
Salad could even have a timpani that she takes and throws at him to deal massive damage. Ooh. I'm not really sure about that play, using his Magnum a bit too early.
Yeah, now we see he's just giving up on Slash already against Dust Cross.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely the right play. Salad was waiting for his charge shot, so he's now locked in animation. So Salad would be able to play next turn into Aqua Dragon, into Aura Head, for example. So he definitely wants to avoid that.
Yeah, but he maybe still could have brought that anti-damage and then the Wind Rack along with the machine gun. It is probably safer to give up Slash, but at the same time, it would also not be ideal to lose SoulXCross so early. It looks like he is gonna try to hang on to it here.
And even going into Erase Cross can be risky if Salad has a Wind Drag, getting decrossed very early. So it is a rough position for Sol. Let's see how he decides to play out. Yeah, so he's really trying to think the turn through. That this turn could make the difference between game for either side, because losing Race Cross very early will deny him from going into Beast. He will lose out on all that damage that would be increased through his machine guns, especially with how the area looks now. Because Salad would be very difficult for her to avoid most of the machine gun hits.
Yeah, this is only the... Oh, and Salad going for the Tengu with the Blast Man. Interesting.
Blast Man might have been to bait out some defense. Ooh.
Oh no.
Let's see if she has any follow-up. She could pull him and then use a Wind Rack. She does have the time for that.
Or pull him and use the Ice Dragon. Oh, the Aura Head.
That was
yeah,
nice movement.
So she did have that Aura Head, so Soul did make the right call by going out from Slash into Erase. That was the correct decision in the end.
Nice.
Oh.
Getting the free extra damage. Oh, and all of these area grabs, but also having life auras. Might be a bit risky to go with life aura to start with.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that he had to give up SoulXCross because now he doesn't have any way
Ooh.
of dealing with this Tengu cross from Salad.
Okay, so Sol just took one invis into the turn and used it straight away, which I don't think was the correct way to play it, because now it's going to run out before the turn ends and he doesn't really have anything as well.
Yeah, but now we just see Salad with the life aura here, so
Okay,
it's interesting. Salad,
yeah.
Salad could go for a Tengu Beast charge here to remove that erase.
Ooh.
Oh, the wind crack.
Yeah, I was thinking with the Element Mine she might go for Elect, so instead of taking the damage she would have tried to lock Sol in place for Gandalf Sol or even that Windrak, but looks like she had it anyway.
Yeah, I was thinking even go for the Tengu Beast charge on the Element Man, but since she had the Windrak after, didn't need to Beast charge it. So now we see Soul already without Slash and Erase, and at only 200 HP.
And unfortunately all of these area grabs, they don't really have that much value for him, because if he had Colonel Force then that would have been a very good way to try to come back, but now they're just basically dead chips that he wants to go through.
Yeah, with Slash gone and with no Colonel Force, having the area doesn't really help him.
Salad's now ahead by 1000 HP almost, so...
Oh, and since Salad crossing out of Tengu, so now this Life Aura can be very clutch, but if Salad has a Ice Dragon, she can just charge that, or use...
Another Wind Dragon. And another area grab coming out. Ooh, and Gandalf Sol finishing off that game. And finishing off the match as well.
Yes, that was very unfortunate how that last round went for Soul. That comeback by Salad at the end of the second round was huge.
Yeah, that definitely had its effect. Sol was playing differently. He was trying to be a bit more careful, but he was too careful. He would have wanted game 3 to try to apply more of his pressure. I'm not sure why he decided to take just one invis. That might have even been a misclick. But yeah, that was a good game, well played from both sides.
Yeah, and that was the last match for the stream, right?
Yeah, so that will conclude the stream. So before we end, just going to briefly go through how to sign up for next week. So next week is going to be Blood Moon, which is the double cycle, the 2-week cycle that we have, that concludes this group of new moon cycles. It's going to be a round robin for the first week, and then we're going to end with a top cut, and the winner is going to receive the Moon Master role, I believe.
Oh yeah, my Moon Master is online. I have to try and defend it.
Yeah, so let's see who's going to end up with that role. And so to sign up, make sure to join the N1GP Discord and check the tournament channel for more information on how to sign up. Okay, so now this is going to conclude our stream. So thank you everyone for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the stream, and so going to give a shout out to Wolfie, who's played all of his matches this week. So thank you Wolfie for trying to go through and doing all of them, and thank you everyone for playing throughout the week as well. That was a lot of fun to watch. Thank you, Symes, for joining me on commentary. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was no problem. That was a lot of fun. Especially the Meta Wolfie. You don't normally see the Gregor, the Giga +1, so that was very cool to see the Colonel Force and base.
Yeah, definitely. We had a lot of different folders that were a lot of fun to watch through. And before we end the stream, so the last Blood Moon video is going to be released today at some point after the stream. So make sure to check the N1GP's YouTube channel and keep an eye out for that one. But yeah, so this is going to conclude the stream. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the stream, and going to see you next week. Goodbye.
Yeah, and I just want to give one last shout out to Player Zero for running the stream in the first place.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, alright, so yeah, I guess we'll be back next time with Blood Moon, so we'll see what's gonna happen there, and if I can, if someone's gonna take it from me.
Alright, see you all later. Goodbye.
Bye.